By the way, let's talk about something important. If you can pull this up, Rob, which is probably the most important issue taking place in the country today. You can pull it up. Deeply concerning, specifically for those who live in the state of California.
Oh, Skittles.
Yeah, if you can pull this up. We have to bring attention to this. Catastrophic. So California becomes the first state to ban Skittles.
No, this has got to be a Babylon Bee article.
And 12,000 additional products for cancer-causing
I think it's real.
By the way.
Okay, what is puberty? That doesn't
when you know it's on puberty Instagram, you know it's for real.
Watch who retweets it at the top. Go see who retweets it at the top. Mario Lopez, Saved by the Bell.
Oh my God, they're speaking up.
Okay, so crime
is this real? First of all, is the story real?
We're going to look this up. Crime is through the roof. Okay, Rob, go back to the tweet.
I don't believe it.
Go back to crime is through the roof. Worst drug epidemic ever. Homelessness at an all-time high in California. Let's focus on Skittles. Okay. By the way, they responded back to it, and there's a story that says, you've seen this or no?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, they respond back to it, and they said Newsom just signed the California Skittles ban into law. USA Today, new California law won't ban Skittles, but could change food additives. Okay. USA Today response. So it is a back and forth.
It's so funny though.
Yeah. But Governor Newsom on Saturday signed.
It's almost believable.
Yeah, no shit.
But by the way, no, hang on one second. Because it is true though. This is the part that the fact that you're thinking this is a Babylon Bee story.
He's removing four
makes
additives
me want to share this even more. Share the USA Today story that I just texted you, that at least this one's going to give it. So, and then if you go a little lower, I'll just read it for him to see it. Second paragraph, I just texted it to you. The article reads, a bill that became known as the Skittles ban is now California law. This is USA Today. Okay, so check this out. A bill that became known, okay, zoom out a little bit more. No, a little bit more. There you go. And then zoom in. A bill that became known, can you show what the source is? USA Today. A bill that became known as the Skittles ban is now California law. Here's what it does. Governor Newsom on Saturday signed a law misleading known as the Skittles ban, which will prohibit the manufacture and sale of 4 chemicals used in as many as 12,000 food products. Okay, go a little lower on the second paragraph. Governor Newsom on Saturday signed a misleading law known as brominated vegetable oil, potassium bromate, and a couple other things. Red dye 3. The 4 chemicals are used in as many as 12,000 products across the country, despite never having been approved for consumption by the Food and Drug Administration, according to an environmental working group. Advocates have long expressed concerns about the potential health problems that can be caused by eating these products. Can you imagine if people leave California for banning Skittles, but not for forcing COVID vaccine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Obviously, when I'm saying COVID vaccine force, they almost did. And Mario Lopez, I want to finish up his tweet. Can you go back to the tweet on what he said? Go up there. Yeah, zoom out. There you go. Zoom in a little bit at the top. Crime is through the roof. Worst epidemic ever. Homeless is at an all-time high, but let's focus on Skittles.
I'm shocked that by the way, he's in with that. Yeah. He is like Hollywood.
He's in the in crowd, right?
He's in the in crowd. For him to go against.
Well, you know who else has been saying stuff like this? Oh. He has. Mark Wahlberg has.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg's turning. Yeah, he's
Mark Wahlberg has. He moved to Nevada. He's there. He's fully there, by the way. He's knocking on the door. Chris Pratt has been there for a while. Okay, so more and more people are starting to kind of say it's a little bullshit. I mean, I'm not good with this here.
Right. And Mario Lopez, who we've had at same event you were at in Vegas. Wahlberg we know about. Chris Pratt we know about. But Mario Lopez, I mean, he's the guy that you've gone to any hotel ever. He's the guy that doing the whole movie.
I think Mario was on Candace Owens like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like that, right? And he got in trouble for saying something.
He does the movie guide stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But I challenge you guys out there to find me one Gen Z Hollywood actor. Find me one. Gen Z, so that's 25 and under, who's center right. Find me one that you can name. I can't think of one. I mean, you put it in the comments. But if you're not in that Hollywood elite woke left crowd, mob some may call it, you're canceled. So, you know, when you have an established career like Mark Wahlberg or even Chris Pratt, and you sort of you're sort of
Mark Wahlberg is an OG though.
That's
Mark goes
Boston.
Back. I'm gonna what was his don't call it a comeback. Which one is the song?
Comeback. I've been here
Don't
for
call
years.
it no.
You're
That's LL Cool
Good
J.
Vibrations.
No, Good Vibrations.
Come on, let's get
Good
our
Vibrations
90s
back.
right.
He was a Calvin Klein model. I mean,
Vibrations.
the movie he played, Fear.
Oh my God, he's banging his
gangster.
chest. Oh, that was a great.
Way before Wolf of Wall Street did this. He got it from
Yeah,
him.
he did. Basketball Diaries.
What's
too.
crazy is the most ironic thing about these Skittles thing. If California was a candy, it would be Skittles.
1,000%.
With the LGBT and the
that's
woke
funny.
and the DEI and the ESG and everything that's going
How
on.
dare
there.
you ban something like that?
I love Skittles. Okay?
You and me both.
Starburst, Skittles.
Oh, I
You're talking
love
my
that.
language.
Poison. I
But
love it.
California banning Skittles.
I was actually thinking about going back to California, moving there. But this is
Pat,
it.
the thing
It's
about this
permanent.
though, this is going to be great for you know who. When DeSantis debates him, if I was DeSantis, I'd
He
look
just
right
takes
at him
out a
like,
thing of Skittles.
and he goes like this as he leaves. He should go.
Would you like some Skittles?
Taste the rainbow. Like I would screw with him every moment. I'd be like, taste the rainbow.
Somebody would say, shame on you for eliminating the rainbow in the state of California.
Oh really?
Shame on you.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah.
Just troll him the whole time.
The whole time.
By the way, your thoughts on this debate with DeSantis and Newsom? Is it like I've never heard of this happening before? One's running for president, one's not. What do you think?
Well, first,
about
I
it?
mean, Newsom is slick. He's got a talent, and I'm just gonna be honest. Like, game knows game, right? And that guy can play.
He says he fell for it. He fell for it.
Yeah.
Remember when he said that about
Yeah,
DeSantis?
and I mean, when he goes on conservative media and he can play. I don't think he'd survive the PBD podcast, but he preys on conservative media that
He has an open invitation.
yes, and I mean, same on my show. Anytime Gavin Newsom can come on the show. So, as from a presidential standpoint, I mean, Trump's going to be the nominee, so it's kind of just a waste of time. I do think it's actually healthy to have a conversation, though, and this is why I wish DeSantis would just right now see where he's at, drop out, become a great governor, and reassert that he's been a great governor and continue to be. I'll say nothing but positive things. But the national conversation is there are really two Americas being built right now. And California is a hellhole. It's a dystopian nightmare. If you have money, you can maybe escape it, but it is a hellhole on the streets. Drugs, homelessness, vagrancy, mutilation of children, quality of standards of education, businesses, taxes. And Florida is a completely different environment. And Patrick, I was in California last week. Just from an energy standpoint, like a vibe and an attitude, the people in California are just heavy and dark and just, it's not the spirit.
That's usually New York's thing, guys.
No, but I mean, it's not the California energy that I'm used to. I come here in Florida and boy, things are happening, man, right? Mm-hmm. It has a buzz to it.
Florida would love to have you, by the way.
Well, thank you. I need to save Arizona, just for the record. You want me to save Arizona. If Arizona's not saved, there's no republic. So you want Charlie Kirk in Arizona.
Charlie, you're sort of echoing what PBD has been saying for weeks now, if not months, that after railing on Newsom for years during COVID, called him U-Haul Employee of the Year. We saw that, a U-Haul to go to California is like $1,000 to get the hell out of California.
Correct.
It's like $5,000.
Yeah.
But he's slick. He's skilled. What is it about him that people in California recognize? Oh, I hate that guy, but
honestly,
he goes on conservative media and he dominates.
Well, yeah. First, part of it is you use the right word, dominant. Part of it is just he's so cocky that he just kind of intimidates the host and talks over him, and he just tries to act more alpha. That's why he would not do well with Patrick Bet-David, right? that dog would not hunt around here, right? And because he would avoid that. Tucker Carlson would obliterate him, right? Would you agree, Patrick? It would be sport, right? Yeah, it would be a spectacle, and it would be just out of control. So, but no.
You're saying Hannity is a lightweight?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Hannity is used to old cable television and not new age internet, live time, back and forth type debate style. It's not. Sean's a friend, and I'm not accusing Sean. I'm saying Sean is treating Gavin Newsom like a 1990s cable guest, where you kind of both state your point, and you say, "Oh, it's nice having you. Thanks, Mr. Combs, right? Hannity and Combs." Gavin Newsom plays the new age viral TikTok debate. I'm going to one-up you. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to get that 30-second boom, put it on social. It's like, oh, he owned him.
Yeah.
I kind of live in that world, right?
That's right. You're definitely one of those.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
We helped
You got a few billion views of that.
Yeah, we have a couple billion. Exactly. We helped create that genre. Shapiro, Walsh, Candace, and I, we were kind of some of the pioneers there.
geez, yeah.
So I see Newsom, I'm like, either he gets it intuitively, spends a lot of time on social, or he has a team that's kind of coached him. And so it's not a knock on Hannity. But Ron DeSantis better treat this kind of in that format. This is not a policy debate, okay? Gavin Newsom's just going to lie, right? So one of the rules of Marxists is show, don't tell. Okay, so here's how DeSantis should handle it, because I'm going to be cheering for DeSantis, right? DeSantis will say, Governor Newsom, someone's leaving your state every 8 minutes. And Gavin Newsom like, no, that's not true. In fact, we have all these great. And so he has to Gavin Newsom has to, New York Times, see Gavin Newsom, someone's leaving every 8 minutes. You have to show.
Fact check it. Fact check it in real time.
You know the thing that Trump did when he's like, "Here, let me hold that number."
No, got
Marxists hate it when you show. Telling is not enough because they'll just lie.
Yeah, because like when Trump brought the 4 women that accused Clinton
bingo
of sexual assault, it was the most mind-blowing thing.
All of a sudden,
to a presidential debate, way, Trump turned into the Jerry Springer show. All the most insane thing I've ever seen. But he showed the world. And if you remember what Clinton looked like in that debate,
Hillary was freaked out.
Yeah.
Hillary was like, it's really bad what Trump said. Let's talk about bombing Russia.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just like, wait, all of a sudden it was over. And so I actually like the idea that the debate is happening. The presidential implications are silly. But the debate of you can have a different country based on how states operate is very interesting. Florida has unbelievable outcomes, right? In education and you guys don't have to, your audience knows it too.
Keep it a secret here though, Charlie. Nobody knew about Florida and Miami until you guys started showing up.
But I will say, if Newsom ties and/or wins that debate, it would be a tragedy. It'd be because the facts are so not on his side. Do you agree, Patrick?
Oh my God.
It's like defending the Soviet Union.
But give me the argument. What does he have to win? What does he have to gain? What does DeSantis have to gain from doing that?
He's down 50 points with Trump. It's not a bad idea. He's trying to get some sort of visibility, right? He's trying to get some sort of credibility. So I'm not overly impressed right now with DeSantis' ability to play ball with this kind of game, right? Where DeSantis is like, come, do the speech, do great policy, move on. Now, Trump v. Newsom, woo! Like, Trump would just, that Trump is built in that kind, he kind of created that kind of, you'd be in jail and, boom, and we'll bomb him and this and that. And like the one-liners, he's just like.
Oh, he's the best. By the way, right? You want to talk about gangster, Pat? You talked earlier. Trump bringing the rape victims to that is gangster.
Yes.
By the way, him when Hillary goes, it's awfully good that Trump isn't in charge of the laws in this country, and he goes, yeah, because you'd be in jail. That is a gangster fighter.
Yes.
And by the way, if I was Newsom, to go further with the Skittle thing, if I was DeSantis, I would, because he sits there and they're going to be face to face. I would fill up those high heel cowboy boots with Skittles. At the end,
and honestly, if I was DeSantis, I would get nasty first.
100%.
I would go low. This guy's a bad dude. You say, you know what, Gavin? Where you've ever been in charge where it's not hell? San Francisco's a hellhole. You never take responsibility for anything. If you believe in San Francisco so much, will you walk at 3 a.m. from Fisherman's Wharf to the Transamerica building without a bodyguard? Yes or no, Gavin Newsom?
No.
Show me. Show me that you would walk from Fisherman's Wharf. And Gavin would go, no, you're filibuster. No. You wouldn't. Better question. Would you let your son? Yeah. Would you let your son at 3 a.m. in San Francisco? Guess what? 30 years ago, the answer was, of course. One of the safest cities on the planet. Now they get mugged. You get kidnapped. Right? You get defecated by some crazy person. That's how you have to play that game with Gavin. Aggression, put him on defense because he plays ball, man. Yeah. Like I'm just being honest.
He's a gamer.
I think he's one
I respect his game.
No,
I respect his game a lot.
And I'll be honest, like the fact he showed up at the Republican debate, like that dude has stoned. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna lie, right? Like I mean, we agree. You go to the Reagan Library, like anyone can come up and film a question. I was like, man, that's like,
respect.
That's kind of.
Is this DeSantis' Hail Mary, to use that term again?
DeSantis is not going to be the nominee. The Hail Mary, he's down 56-0 with like 30 seconds left on the clock. Yeah. Sure, it's like all like moral points at this point.
It's not Hail Mary.
How is he still fundraising at this point? I think he just brought in another $20 million, whatever the number was.
Iowa.
I'm sure.
How are people still?
He moved his entire team to Iowa, $50 million.
His consultants can be very persuasive, and also a lot of these donors, they don't live in the grassroots like I do. Like I give hundreds of speeches a year. Okay, I can read an audience really well. Who are you voting for? Trump. I'm like, whoa. And then you see it in the polls and you confirm it. And it's across the board.
But the polls don't matter, according to DeSantis, Charlie.
Well, okay. I mean, then show me one when you're within 10 points, right? I mean, and not just polls. How about audience size? Like social media chatter. Show me one metric. How about this? Small dollar donations. Trump raised $30 million. DeSantis raised like 5 or 6. You can fact check me on it, right? In his last quarter. It's the small dollar donors equal support. Bernie Sanders actually showed us this, right? Everyone was like, oh, Bernie isn't real. And I was like, man, the dude has like 1 million donors. He's going to give Hillary a run for her money. And he was right, right? If you have people that give you $10, that's like basically 1,000 votes, right? And it was right. Like Bernie Sanders played against him. So, but Gavin, here's the thing with Gavin. Gavin is a cocky SOB. He is a cocky cocky dude.
He's the Trump of the left.
Yeah, but
minus the money and the.
He has
Ed Baladia.
He's the guy that walks around with his nose up in the air, and one of these days he's going to get crossed over by someone who knows the game better than him, right? So that he's going to get punched in the mouth metaphorically by a PBD or a Tucker or a Walsh or a Shapiro or someone like me, because there's only so much ball you could play, and Icarus is going to fly too close to the
And
sun.
Charlie, one could
days.
argue that Gavin Newsom is the definition of fake news. He's almost like the emperor has no clothes on. He's running around with this holier than thou methodology, ideology. I'll show up anywhere.
Yes.
But under the cloak, it's homelessness, crime, nakedness.
This is the truth, and I've actually thought deeply about this. The only reason California is not like legitimately a third world country is because of the weather. At this point, and there is nothing left except the weather. I talk to people in California, I'm like, okay, so you got like vagrancy everywhere. Yeah. You got highest taxes, regulation, California Franchise Tax Board. The schools are a mess. Why? Well, Charlie, have you ever walked at 67 degrees in the morning in Thousand Oaks, California?
So crazy, but you're so right.
And it's awfully persuasive. I got to be honest. Like if you walk up to those, you know what I'm talking about? That dew mist and kind of the marine layer that sets in. And it's kind of like that Aspen feel. You're like, yeah, maybe I don't care. Maybe I don't care if the homeless guy.
Right. Yeah. But then you have the guy that's like, yeah, I would love to do that, but gas costs $7 a gallon, and I can't even make it on the other side of town.
What I'm saying though is it would be so much worse, right? It's like it's almost California is a test case of how bad can you make a civilization with like pleasant mornings and evenings.
For me, they crossed the line with Skittles. It's over. Once you get there, it's done.
No, but this video is not an exaggeration. It's just
that looks like a different country.
No,
yeah,
that's actually,
is that Hollywood, Pat? Where is that?
That's in LA.
Yeah, Los Angeles.
That video's from a couple years ago, but it hasn't. It hasn't gotten better.
Pat, I genuinely left right like that right there under the bridges in Burbank, like Laurel Canyon. It was.
Vinny, that's your old house, right?
That's my old apartment right there. That tent is actually my apartment. But yeah, it's getting really, really bad. But you nailed it, bro. People are like, dude, the traffic, everything is like, yeah, but.
The weather.
Nice. There's no humidity.
I went surfing this morning and I'm going skiing in the afternoon.
Yeah, there's no humidity.